Hey guys, Mr. Mewman back here again today, and today I have the Shining Fates Complete Master Set. So a little bit about this before we get started. I am using, for my binder, an Ultimate Guard. This is a 9-pocket zip folio. I like to use Ultimate Guards for all my master sets. They seem to be working for me, so I'm just going to keep using them. I did get this one from Burning Tree Gaming, but they are getting kind of hard to find right now. So on to the actual set. So this set contains 241 cards, plus an additional two cards that I'll say they are exclusive cards that actually play a really key role in how I lay out the binder, and I will get to that whenever I get to them. So out of the 241 cards, 73 are from the original set, and there are 46 reverse holos, and then of course the massive 122 shiny vault. So all those together, of course, the 241 plus the additional exclusives is 243. So I will open the binder here and we will go ahead and start looking at some of these here. So of course I have the main set first. So with I usually lay out the normal version and then the reverse holo right after it. That way I can see everything in the set. So starting here with Yanma, Yanmega, Celebi, Cacnea, and Tropius, and then Rowlet, Dartrix, and Decidueye. And you will notice a lot of these are reprints from older sets. So of course Decidueye was in Darkness Ablaze, but they did reprint it. I do believe the Dartrix is actually different. So a lot of cards that may have a different evolution line, or something that is different, they basically reprinted the whole set. So from there we go into Delmise V and VMAX. So of course Delmise V a reprint, but the VMAX is something new. This comes from a Japanese promo set where you had the option of either getting this, an alternate art Cinderace VMAX, a Morpeko VMAX, or a Cramorant VMAX, which are included in the set that we will see later on. So from there we have a Grookey, a new Thwackey, and then of course a reprint of the Rillaboom, Gossifleur, and Eldegoss. I have Zarude, our first amazing rare, and Reshiram. So we can see there are two different kinds of sleeves here. I do use KMC Perfect Fits for all the commons, reverse holos, rares, and then I use, these are just regular ETB sleeves for all the amazing rares and ultra rares and anything of higher rarity. So from there, we'll move on to Cinderace V and VMAX. Horsey, of course, there's no Kingdra or Seadra in here, so just the Horsey. Kyogre Amazing Rare, Weasel and Floatzel, Manaphy Volcanion, Choodle, and Dreadnought, Cramorant, a new Snom, and then the reprint of the Frostmoth, Shinx, a Luxio and Luxray, Rotom, two different Morpekos here, so basically the same card, just two different artworks. Then here is the V and the VMAX, which is different. This is the, I believe, the male version of the Indeedee V, so it's basically a reprint of the Sword and Shield one, just a different just a different artwork. From there, we do go on to Trapinch, Coughing, and Wheezing. So here's another example. The Coughing is a new card. The Galarian Wheezing is a reprint. Spinarak, and then we have Crobat V, which got a nice reprint in here. Of course, being a very competitive card because it is now including the Crobat VMAX. A Yveltal Amazing Rare, and then a Nickit, Thievul, Qfant, the newly added Ditto V and VMAX, Eevee, Greedent V, Cramorant V and VMAX, and then this is the first exclusive that I have in this binder. So this is a non-holographic Indeedee. Normally you get a holo out of the set and then the reverse holo. This comes from the Blastoise and the Venusaur theme deck. I think it was one of them. I ended up getting both of them. So this is the very first exclusive. And then we go on to Ball Guy, and then the boss's order with the Lysandre. So this is now the second exclusive. This is a holo Lysandre here. So those two play a very important role of how I have the rest of the binder laid out, and we will see how that works when we do get into the Shiny Vault part. So from there we go into Gym Trainer, a new professor's research, basically the same thing as what the Professor Magnolia did. We have the Rusted Shield and Rusted Sword, and then the Team Yell Tau is the last of the, before we get into the full arts from this set. So from there we have one full art V and Alcremie V, and of course the normal Alcremie was in Champion's Path, and the same thing for the Alcremie VMAX, that was in Champion's Path, but it looks like they added the full art here, as well as all these nice full arts from the Japanese version of Shiny Star V. So Ball Guy, Birdkeeper, Carolise, Gym Trainer, Pierce, Pokekid, an alternate version of Rose, Skyla, and then here is the Rainbow Alcremie VMAX to end the full main set. So a lot of those cards came from the Japanese set Shiny Star V, as well as the Blastoids and the Venusaur decks that they released over there. So a lot of those cards from the main set came from those. Then, of course, some extra gym promos and stuff like that thrown in. So from there, you can see I go straight into the Shiny Vault. It was something I was trying to decide, do I want to start right after the Alcremie, or do I want to move it to a separate page? But I ended up starting it right after the Alcremie. I'm just going to continue right on, starting with Rowlet, Dartrix, and Decidueye. Then Grookey, Thwackey, and Rillaboom. Blipbug, Dottler, and Orbeetle. Gossifleur, which I really like the shiny version of Gossifleur. Eldegoss. Applin, which is probably my favorite shiny in the whole set. I really do like that. I really like how they gave it kind of like a green apple instead of the normal red. And then, of course, Flapple and Appleton. Moving on to Scorbunny, Raboot, Cinderace, Sizzlipede, Centiskorch, Galarian Mr. Mime, Galarian Mr. Rhyme, Suicune, which is a very, very, very popular Pokemon. Of course, I think it might be the only legendary baby shiny in this set. So very, very, very good baby shiny to pull. So from there, Galarian Darmaka and Galarian Darmanitan, Sobble, Drizzile, and Inteleon. And as you may notice, they did include the starters, of course, of all three in the shiny form. And basically, you can get every Galar Pokemon as a shiny in this set. So, except for the Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus, which end up being gold and black cards. So from there, we move on to Choodle and Dreadnought, Cramorant, Arrokuda, and Barraskewda. From here, we go on to Snom and Frostmoth. Another thing to point out is they have released gold shiny promos in sets before. So we have seen a golden Frostmoth, a golden Berserker, golden Rillaboom. So all those cards that they did release as secret rares, they ended up getting a normal shiny print in this set. So I believe there were 6 of them so far, that being the Berserker, Frostmoth, Rillaboom, Colossal, Oranguru, and Obstagoon. So we will see those all throughout here as a normal baby shiny. From there, we go on to Ice-Q, Dracovish, and Arctovish, and then Rotom, Yamper, Bolton, Toxel, and Toxtricity, Pincurchin, Morpeko, Dracozolt, and Arctozolt, Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Rapidash, Galarian Corsola, Cursula, and Cursola. We move into Dedenne. Another thing to point out is they did give all the Mad Party Pokemon a shiny form. So we did see the Galarian Mr. Rhyme. We have the Dedenne. Right next to it, you have the Sinistea and the Poltegeist. And you will see, of course, the Bunnelby later on. So all the Mad Party Pokemon did get the shiny form, which was cool to see. From there, we go into Hatenna, Hatterene, and Hatterene, Milcery and Alcremie, and Indeedee, Dreepy, Dracloak, and Dragapult. So that's one of my favorite lines from Sword and Shield. I like that line and the Applin line. And then Galarian Farfetch'd and Sirfetch'd, Galarian Yamask, and Galarian Runerigus, Roly-Poly Carkol. Here is the Colossal in the non-gold shiny form, as I was mentioning earlier. Silicobra and Sandaconda, Clobbopus, Graplocked, Phalanx, Stonejourner. I like the shiny of Coughing, actually. It is quite unique compared to what it normally is. Galarian Weezing, Galarian Zigzagoon, Lanoon, and Obstagoon. And here's the other one I was mentioning. You know you can get the gold Obstagoon in a previous set. So here's the baby shiny of that. Nickit Thievul, Impidimp, Morgrim, and Grimmsnarl. Here's the Galarian Meowth. And here is that baby shiny of the Galarian Berserker, Galarian Stunfisk and Corviknight, Cufant, Caporaja, Duraludon, Minccino, Chinchino, Ducklet, that is another cool shiny form, Swanna, and here is the Bunnelby. One thing to point out is they did not include the Diggersby in the set, so they only included the Bunnelby, I would say specifically probably for the Mad Party feature that it has. So no Diggersby, just a Bunnelby. The Oranguru, Squovit, Greedent, Rookidee, Corvisquire, Wooloo, and Dubwool. So that ends the 104 baby shinies in this set. That is quite a bit more than what we had in Hidden Fates. I won't compare this set too much to Hidden Fates. I will do that in a later video just to kind of see how the two compare. But 104 total baby shinies in this set. And as I mentioned earlier, those two exclusives that I included in this master set, the Indeedee and the Lysandre, the reason I included them in there and they are so important is because now the last page lines up perfectly. If I wouldn't have included those, then the Rillaboom V and the Rillaboom VMAX would have been shifted on the page before, whereas this is the rest of the Shiny Vault all fits on these two pages. So here's the Rillaboom V, VMAX, and I will pull these up a little bit so we get a better view of them, and the Charizard VMAX, which I do believe is easier to pull than the Hidden Fates Charizard. Centiskorch V and VMAX, Lapras V and VMAX, Toxtricity V and VMAX. Move over to Indeedee V, Phalanx V, Grimmsnarl V, and VMAX. Another one of my favorite shinies from this set is the Ditto V. I like the blue color it has of the V and the VMAX. I think I actually do prefer the normal V over it. Just a very happy Pokemon is what he is. And then we end this off with the Dubwool V, and then the two gold cards in this set, the Eternatus V and the Eternatus VMAX. So I'm going to set this down. So on the next page, I did include all the promos from this set as well. So the Eldegoss, Boltund, and Cramorant, these are all the 10 promos. Dragapult V and VMAX, Crobat V and VMAX, they got their own box. And of course, the Zacian and Zamazenta came from the Ultra Premium Collection. One thing to note is 8 of these 9 cards, so everything except for the Crobat, was included in the Japanese set Shiny Star V, but they were removed to become promos. I don't know how I feel about that. I do enjoy they are easier to get whenever you can get them as a promo, but it would have been cool to be able to actually pull the Dragapult V and the VMAX. But yeah, so 8 of the cards were actually removed from the set, and then I included the other promos over here, the Pikachu, the 4 Mad Party Pokemon, and then the Eevee VMAX from the ETB. So that is the complete master set, how I have it laid out. I do like going back to this page that everything does fit on here perfectly. Of course, if I do add another exclusive, if one was to come out later on, that would obviously shift everything. But as of right now, everything fits perfectly with that non-holo Indeedee and that holo Boss's Order Lysandre. So overall, it was a really fun set to collect. I was comparing it a lot to Hidden Fates up front, just because there are more full arts in Hidden Fates. I do believe there's 35 compared to just a few that we have on here. But I will probably save that for a later video, just kind of comparing what I liked and disliked about the both of them. And I also want to do something just talking about the pull rates, because that is something else that is very important when you look at what the pull rate of a shiny V or a shiny VMAX is, and then comparing it to just a normal shiny, and how they actually, what that actually means for a card that you're actually looking for. But overall, a really, really great set, really fun to collect. Definitely one that we are happy to have in our collection. But from there, our next master set we will be completing is Battle Styles, as that is now officially out. But I want to thank you guys for joining. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.